The galactic bazaar on Proxima Station hummed with the cacophony of 1,000 species haggling, trading and bartering beneath the artificial blue sky. Leo Martinez stepped through the crowded marketplace, his worn leather jacket standing out among the shimmering scales and crystalline exoskeletons of the alien merchants. He was there for cattle, specifically the genetically modified Terran cows that had become prized across the galaxy for their adaptability to alien atmospheres. Fresh livestock. Genuine earth bovines. A voice boomed across the square in heavily accented standard. Leo turned to see a massive Krillian farmer, his forearms gesticulating wildly at a pen of confused-looking cows. The creature's chitinous plates gleamed purple in the station's artificial sunlight. Leo approached, running a practiced eye over the herd. They looked healthy enough, if a bit stressed from their journey through the warp gates. He was about to inquire about prices when the Krillian's mandibles clicked together in what passed for a grin among his species. "Special offer today, human," the farmer announced loudly, clearly performing for the growing crowd. "Buy 5 cows, get a working alien woman absolutely free." He gestured with 2 of his arms toward a small, hunched figure behind the pen. Leo's stomach turned. There, chained to a post like an animal, sat what appeared to be a young Zephyrian female. Her translucent skin had the grayish tint of malnutrition, and her large dark eyes stared at the ground with the hollow expression of someone who had given up hope. A shock of white hair fell across her face, partially obscuring the distinctive luminescent patterns that marked her species. "Her name is Elsa," the Krillian continued dismissively. "Zephyrians make excellent servants. Very obedient. Barely eats anything. Perfect for domestic work or—" "She's a person," Leo interrupted, his voice tight with controlled anger. The Krillian's antennae twitched in confusion. "Of course she is person. That's why she worth extra value with cattle purchase." Around them, various aliens had stopped to watch the exchange. Some nodded in agreement with the farmer. Others observed with studied neutrality. Slavery had been outlawed in the core worlds, but out here on the rim, enforcement was spotty at best. Too many species, too many cultural differences, too few peacekeepers. Leo knew the statistics. Humanity had been part of the galactic community for only 70 years. Newcomers by cosmic standards. Most species viewed humans as unpredictable, sometimes dangerously so, but humans had one reputation that preceded them everywhere. They were absolutely irrational when it came to concepts like freedom and individual rights. "The Galactic Accords forbid sentient trafficking," Leo said carefully, his hand moving slowly toward his comm unit. The Krillian's mandibles clicked in what might have been laughter. "Accords are for core worlds, human. This is rim territory. Different rules." He leaned closer, his breath reeking of fermented kelp. "You want cows or not? Offer expires soon. Other customers interested?" Leo glanced at Elsa again. She hadn't looked up once during the entire exchange, as if she had learned long ago that hope was more painful than resignation. Something in his chest tightened, a very human response that his alien crewmates often mocked him for. They called it excessive empathy syndrome, as if caring about suffering was a disorder. "How much for just the girl?" Leo asked quietly. The Krillian's eyes glittered with greed. "Ah, smart human. She worth 10 cows alone. I give you deal. 8,000 credits." Leo didn't have 8,000 credits. He barely had 3,000, saved up over months of hauling cargo through jump gates. But he also couldn't walk away. That was the thing about humans that other species never seemed to understand. Sometimes they chose morality over logic, emotion over survival, justice over profit. "I'll give you 3,000 and this," Leo said, pulling a small data chip from his pocket. "Coordinates to a pre-expansion human bunker on Kepler 442b. Lots of salvage. Military grade." The Krillian hesitated, his mercantile instincts warring with suspicion. "How I know coordinates are real?" "Because humans don't lie about stuff like this," Leo said, meeting the alien's compound eyes steadily. It was a bluff, of course. Humans lied constantly. But the galaxy's perception of humanity as honorable idiots sometimes had its advantages. The farmer considered for a long moment, then his mandibles clicked in acceptance. "Deal. But if coordinates are false, I find you, human." "They're real," Leo assured him, transferring the credits and data chip. His savings account was now essentially empty, and he had no cattle to show for his trip. Captain Morrison was going to kill him. The Krillian unlocked Elsa's chains with surprising gentleness, as if she were merely merchandise he was carefully packaging for transfer. She stumbled when she tried to stand, her legs weak from prolonged confinement. Leo stepped forward and caught her elbow, steadying her. "It's okay," he said softly. "You're free now." For the first time, Elsa looked up at him. Her eyes, vast and dark like the space between stars, widened in confusion and something that might have been fear. Zephyrians communicated partially through bioluminescence, and the patterns on her skin flickered uncertainly, blue confusion, orange fear, and then hesitantly, a soft green that Leo's translator identified as cautious hope. "Free?" she whispered, her voice rusty from disuse. I do not understand." "You purchased me. I belong to you now." "No," Leo said firmly, helping her away from the pen. "Nobody belongs to anybody. That's kind of humanity's whole thing." The crowd parted as they walked through the bazaar, aliens muttering in dozens of languages. Some approved, some thought he was insane, and others simply calculated how they might exploit this irrational human behavior in future transactions. Elsa stumbled again, and Leo slowed his pace. "When's the last time you ate?" Her bioluminescence flickered, gray shame. 3 cycles, maybe 4. Leo sighed, steering them toward a food vendor. There went the last of his emergency credits. "We'll fix that first. Then we'll figure out where you want to go, what you want to do. Your choice." "My choice?" The green hope light grew stronger on her skin, mixed now with yellow patterns his translator couldn't quite identify. "Yeah," Leo confirmed, ordering a protein pack and a nutrient drink from a bemused Tentaclon vendor. "Your choice. That's what freedom means." As Elsa ate with the desperate hunger of someone who had forgotten what fullness felt like, Leo contacted his ship. Captain Morrison's face appeared on his comm screen, his expression already suspicious. "Please tell me you got the cattle, Martinez." "Not exactly, Captain." "Leo, I can explain. See, there was this situation. You rescued someone, didn't you?" Morrison's exasperation was palpable. "You humans and your savior complexes. This is the 3rd time this year." "4th, Leo corrected. "But who's counting?" Morrison groaned but didn't disconnect. That was the thing about humanity's reputation. It exasperated their allies as often as it terrified their enemies. But slowly, gradually, it was changing the galaxy. One freed slave at a time. Beside Leo, Elsa's skin began to glow with a brilliant, pure yellow. The color of joy, his translator informed him. The color of a new beginning. And Leo smiled because sometimes being human meant being magnificently, irrationally, beautifully foolish.